And welcome back. Game 2 of the first matchup of the Commonwealth League quarterfinals. Nocturnal Dragons. They have themselves a one-game lead over Monster Mash, 1-0, heading into game number 2. Once again, LaRue out here on the play-by-play, on the color commentary, Jinja Ninja. Of course, Jinja, we just saw game number 1. It was Nocturnal Dragons, the 5 seed, picking up the victory over Monster Mash. So as we head into game number 2, we're going to see the team comps in just a second. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But what does Monster Mash need to do to kind of maybe get their heads back into the game and really maybe kind of get in a good mindset to tie this series up?
I think they need more coordination. They spent a lot of time with Panzor the Great just sitting alone in the top lane and fighting a lot of 4v5. So I think they need to know when they're stronger than their opponents and be able to force opportunities where they have either a man advantage or a gold advantage. So I think a little bit more coordination on choosing fights is going to come out. Going to mean a lot for them if they want to win the series.
Yeah, so certainly we do see the bans here. Zyra, Twisted Fate, and Vi for the side of Nocturnal Dragons. And for the side of Monster Mash, it is Kaisa, Nico, and Ornn. And also, before we get into these top lane picks, and the top lane picks are a little spicy, and we'll get to that in just a second. Morgana, spoiler alert, was not picked or banned in this game. The first game in the Commonwealth League this year where we will not see a Morgana on the champ select screen. It is absolutely incredible, but you do see here, it is Maokai for Jared the Bear and Snow 2 Funky, the 80 carry, who is playing top in this series. He's going to be on the Vayne here in this one. It is Vayne top here in game number 2.
Yep. Well, we're finally free from Morgana. But
we're free.
To not talk about Morgana, Vayne was the last pick for Monster Mash. They had last pick being on red side, and they picked it in hopes of just running down Jedi the Bear on the Maokai, seeing as he's basically deals no damage. The second Vayne builds a lifesteal item, and Vayne's just going to melt him down. So looking at the initial draft of Monster Mash, their first picks were Rammus, Janna, Malphite, and it was just a puzzling draft, to say the least. They didn't have a lot of coordination in what they were going to do, and they had absolutely no damage. But since they're putting Malphite mid, I'm going to go out on a very short limb and say it's going to be AP Malphite. Mm-hmm. And then they have two very good late scaling 80 carries. Vayne, in different ways. Caitlyn scales in more of a long range kind of keep you over there front to back kind of team fight, and Vayne works in more of a chaotic team fight where she can dance around with her invisibility. So I think they have their draft came out a lot better than I expected it to be. And then looking on the other side, it's probably going to be another game on the shoulders of Goodspeed. As Nocturnal does, they put everything on their 80 carry. So they have a Yasuo, not to spoil, but it's a Yasuo Nami bot lane, playing against a Janna Caitlyn. So I think they can make it out of lane phase perfectly fine. Janna's not a very aggressive support, and Nami's heals and her E synergizing really well with Yasuo's Q is gonna help them in the laning phase. And then once they get out of there, if Goodspeed is a good enough player, these fights can come out just kind of a dominating performance from a Yasuo. So it'd be interesting to see how well Goodspeed performs.
Yeah, certainly a lot of wild cards in this one. Of course, a lot of champions we haven't seen in different situations. You see the Xerath mid for Psycho Ghost. We haven't seen Xerath at all this season. I think we've maybe only seen the Janna once or twice. Nami not really a popular pick. Maokai not really a popular pick. Rammus not really a popular pick. Vayne top certainly not a popular pick. All kinds of just picks that you really wouldn't see anywhere else. But it is the quarterfinals. It is probably it is Monster Mash's back against the wall. So why not just break out some picks that you might not see anywhere else as you try to really kind of just get yourself back into this one and tie this series up and give you an opportunity to put things back to 1-1. But you do see the full team comps here as we approach our delay, so to speak. You do see Jared the Bear for Nocturnal Dragons. He's going to be on Maokai. Quetzalcoatl on the Sejuani. Psycho Ghost, he's going to be playing Xerath. Goodspeed on the Yasuo AD carry. And Wolfie She's going to be playing the Nami on the side of Monster Mash. It is going to be Snow Too Funky on the Vayne. It is going to be Grand Paradox on the Rammus in the jungle. And Zora the Great, he's going to be playing that Malphite mid. We said probably going to be playing AP. You're going to need a lot of AP damage coming up here. Just taking a look at that team comp. The Whippy going to be on Caitlyn 80 carry. And Sume, he's going to be playing the Janna. So comps are certainly interesting. You take a look at everything that they've got, Jinja. And much like with game number 1, let's go over some keys to the game for both these sides. What do they have to do? One, for Nocturnal Dragons to secure their place in the in the semifinals, excuse me, but also for Monster Mash to tie this series
up. For Nocturnal Dragons, going top to bottom, they have to break Jared the Bear out of lane phase. He's not gonna to win that, but in a 2v1, there's a lot of CC, especially in early game Vayne. Not a lot of HP, not a lot of damage. That can be a lot of early kills for him, and breaking him out of lane phase lets the Maokai move towards other lanes, either forcing turrets or just catching people out. And then moving further down, Xerath against a Malphite. If it's an AP Malphite, honestly, I'm not entirely sure how that lane is going to break down. Malphite's Q can deal a lot of poke damage over and over again, but Xerath has the range advantage, so I think that's kind of a wash lane, and we'll just see Malphite, Panzora the Great taking TP, so we'll see him hopefully going around other lanes, using his ultimate to just force kills in other lanes. Maybe not mid lane, maybe if he finds kill chance. And then in the bot lane, if Goodspeed can escape lane phase even or ahead, that is amazing for Nocturnal Dragons. If he goes even, that's fine. If he's behind, it's expected. The range advantage from Caitlyn is going to be a lot. If Sejuani wants to spend some love there, especially post 6, just a long range ultimate into a Q is a lot of setup for the Yasuo. So I think it's going to be in Quetzalcoatl to affect the bot lane and the top lane the most. On the side of Monster Mash, I think Vayne just runs over Maokai. It's on Snow Too Funky to play aggressive, but be prepared for Quetzalcoatl to come. Have a good vision line. Rammus, probably a good gank against Xerath or Yasuo Nami. Yasuo obviously can't dash into Rammus if he has his Q spinning up. And Nami has no mobility, Xerath has no mobility. So I think he's got some good ganks there, especially with Malphite post 6. Anywhere Malphite is post 6 is going to be a kill for Monster Mash, most likely, unless somebody flashes out. And then the bot lane, range advantage, winning bot lane, just got to use their muscles. They have heal advantage, actually, Yasuo taking exhaust. So I think if they play smart, they'll just come out ahead gold-wise and get that 3-item Caitlyn online as soon as possible.
Yeah, certainly. And so a lot of storylines coming into this game. Nocturnal Dragons, can they secure their place in the semifinals? Nocturnal Dragons, they've been a team that has struggled mightily for the last couple weeks of the regular season, but can they put themselves in an opportunity really maybe to look towards the finals? Of course, you do have a very tough opponent waiting if you do win this series, and we'll get to that in just a second. But Monster Mash, they're not done just yet. They still have an opportunity. They will need to win 2 games in a row, but as they always say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I believe it was Sun Tzu who said that, and so it starts right here in game number 2. So do look at the loading screen. We do look at the splash arts there. You do see the paper plane Malphite. I can't look at him as a mountain. It looks more like a paper plane to me, and I don't know why. But you also see quite a few skins there. You're flexing the Victorious Maokai. You're flexing your rank. You see the Project Vayne, Pulsefire Caitlyn, Nightbringer Yasuo. A lot of money. A lot of players with money to spend on this game. But going over the playoffs, of course, as I mentioned, the winner of this series will go on to face Mediocre at Best next week in the semifinals. Of course, Mediocre at Best, one of 2 teams that did receive a bye into the semifinals. And then tomorrow's matchup, we will have the 3 seed in RAR taking on the 6 seed in Lionheart Esports. The winner of that matchup will move on to face the number 1 seed in SPK Reapers. So going to be an interesting one. Going to be a lot of fun to see how things shake out here as we get onto the Rift. Get started here with game number 2.
So I didn't get to mention it, but I think Monster Mash wins just because Zora the Great refused to use the Malphite skin. That splash art's too good.
Yeah, you use it for the friggin' paper plane at this point.
Mhm.
As I don't know what it looks like once you get in the game. I
Oh,
don't know.
it's just base Malphite skin.
It just looks like the regular Malphite splash with
Yeah.
the. It doesn't look like I'm talking about the. Well, we'll talk about it later. We do see once again Nocturnal Dragons. There's something more important than that. Nocturnal Dragons. They are going to bump up into the tri-bush here. You do see it as a 5-point start for Monster Mash this time, playing a little bit more conservatively after last game didn't work so much in their favor. But
I don't think their level 1's that great either, so I think that's smart by them. Yasuo is a big damage dealer, just in extended fights at level 1, so smart by them to just standard 5, don't want to go too crazy. Jared the Bear hanging out bot side.
We might
They're
actually
lane
be
swapping.
seeing another lane swap. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be the Xerath going up to the top side. And you know, when you have a Malphite mid, the Maokai mid doesn't hurt that much to swap that one out. So that's going to be interesting. Psycho Ghost, he's going to be taking the Xerath top. And you know, I thought the one ranked game I played the other day where I had the Xerath top, I thought that'd be the only time I see Xerath top. No, it's now a competitive pick as we do see it here in game number 2. It is going to be a bot lane jungle start though for both these junglers. Quetzalcoatl, he's going to be taking the red buff, and Grand Paradox, he's going to be starting on the blue buff.
The historic wet noodle fight shifted from top lane to mid lane. We can never escape it.
Yeah, but thinking about it though, good.
No, it's smart.
I actually do like the swap because you know Malachi, he's gonna get naturally tanky, and Panzora the Great, or Malphite I should say, a champion that really once he bursts doesn't really follow up with a whole lot. Of course, you have your slam, you have your Q, but if that doesn't kill, then you're just reduced to auto attacking. And while the W does add a little bit to Malphite's damage post ultimate, it's maybe not going to be enough to kill the Maokai, but just
it's definitely smart.
Yeah.
It adds a lot of kill pressure towards mid lane to bring in Quetzalcoatl. Just the kind of lockdown from there, and it opens them up, you know, if they force Panzor the Great out of mid lane, either through killing him or getting him low, just take Jared the Bear bot lane. He doesn't need to TP, he can just walk there, and they could try to force some kills, especially, you know, we see the Whippy and Sume using their range advantage and just pushing up early, so if they continue that trend, and if they lose ward coverage, take Jared the Bear bot lane for some free money.
Yeah, so we do see here, slow start in this one, no first blood before minions spawn. As you do see here, there's a double tornado coming out from good speed. The bubble not going to connect with Sume, but we do have some fighting down in the jungle. It's actually Quetzalcoatl. He's going to take quite a bit of damage there. The Ram's going to do quite a bit with the red buff. The stun is not going to connect with the Vayne. Vayne's going to go ahead and try to follow this one out. Can Quetzalcoatl dash? He is. The Condemn not going to find the wall. Quetzalcoatl maybe get a little bit lucky there as the Condemn just barely pushes him beyond the wall and into a safe spot.
Very close. The Rammus damage early is actually, I think, something slept on by a lot of players. Looks like we have a fight going down bot lane. No, okay, they walked away.
Yeah. Windwalk gonna indicate a little bit of damage there. Quetzalcoatl dashing in to try to smite that one away. He does do so. Is he gonna walk away with his life? Jared the Bear is gonna be coming up. So is the Malphite. You might just see 4 wet noodles fighting in just a second if that's the case. But either way, they both back off. Quetzalcoatl wins that little jungle skirmish by getting the Scuttle Crab.
Very ballsy, but worked out for him. Jared the Bear had land priority, so he could respond first, and definitely stronger pre-6 than a Malphite is, so smart by Quetzalcoatl. Comes out a little ahead on gold than he should be.
Yeah, so far, though, it is a gold advantage for Monster Mash. Of course, early in this one, but it is already up to 400 gold for Monster Mash. You see here, it is a bot lane. It's a CS advantage both in mid lane and in bot lane. Quetzalcoatl, he's going to peer down bot side. Does hit level 4. The bubble is not going to land, but is he going to be patient and wait this one out? Looks like no. He's going to go ahead and head towards those Krugs as the wave continues to maybe push a little bit towards the Nocturnal Dragon's tower. Maybe you think about a lane gank in just a second.
If we look at ward coverage.
Oh, they do have that ward, yes.
Yeah, they have a lot of ward coverage. Obviously, the 2 crabs coming into play here, but outside of that, they have 4 wards down already. One a little bit more aggressive than the other, and only 1 active ward at the moment for the side of Monster Mash towards the mid lane. So lots of vision coverage. We'll be looking to make plays around that, see if they can catch somebody when they don't think that they're caught.
As you see here, Goodspeed continuing to lose a little bit of that CS advantage. He's now down 14 as the Whippy taking advantage of the range. You see the Electrocute coming down from Penzor the Great. That pretty much confirms, by the way, with the Electrocute that is going to be an AP Malphite.
Oh yeah.
But getting it to proc.
And runes, so yeah.
Exactly. So that is going to be a Malphite. Of course, you do have a little bit of a squish on the side of Nocturnal Dragons. Of course, Maokai you're not going to be able to delete. Sejuani you're not going to be able to delete. But the Xerath and the Nami and even the Yasuo to a degree, you might be able to do something there. As you do see, Psychos, he's going to be taken low on mana, is able to put some more poke down, but it's going to be the Rammus appearing down in the top side. He's going to flash for it, does not find the engage. Psychos, he's just going to go ahead and flash out, and flash for a flash. As
Psychos got to back up.
Yeah, he does have to back up.
He just has to concede.
Well, does land another Q there, but we do have some fighting down in the bot side. Goodspeed, the Ignite is going to be dropped down from the Janna. He's going to go ahead and dash out. Tentacle is there to keep his bot lane safe. You see Psychos, he's actually going to hit level 6 at the same time as the Vayne. And so, you take that Vayne down low enough, you might be able to pop that ulti and play a little bit of dodgeball up in that lane. Of course, looks like the Vayne playing a little bit back here at this stage. A Snow Too Funky. He doesn't want to get into anything, taking quite a bit of Q damage here early upside. Not really the most standard top lane, but it's the top lane we get here in game number 2.
Yeah, Ignite burned down bot lane, so we'll see if that comes into play in the upcoming fights, especially around this Earth Drake coming up. Burning MOMvsNDR purchased by Maokai. I was hoping that he's going to either get Corrupting Potion or MOMvsNDR. Let's first buy. It gives him a little bit of a free push coming in, so that he doesn't have to use all his abilities. We saw him go boom very quickly in the laning phase before the first purchase, so I think that's a smart pickup by Joe the Bear. Level 7 on Malphite, so he has his ultimate. He is unlocked. We'll see if he wants to take it mid lane or take it somewhere else to try to pick up a kill. Want to be using that on cooldown.
And we got ourselves a gank in the mid lane here. Penzor the Great, he is level 7. He's going to go ahead and use that ulti to get away. The stun is going to come down from the Sejuani, but he is going to find enough distance under the tower to keep himself safe. But there's a lot of damage going down from Penzor the Great. You don't have the ultimate for a little bit. Not the longest cooldown in the game, but certainly not a tiny cooldown. And so,
2-minute cooldown. Very important cooldown. I'm going to buy him a little bit of time. Maybe they want to go do the Earth Drake while it's down.
Yeah, it looks like Jared the Bear, though, he might run into a 2v1 situation here. It's actually no. He's just going to go ahead and walk out as he does get a ward into the River Brush.
Grand Paradox still level 5. Blue buff donated over to Second Ghost. Help out a little bit in the top side. But Grand Paradox to get that last level, he's close-ish. He's got like 2 camps. So falling behind in experience to Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, so, 8.5 minutes, excuse me. I may have drank a little too much water there for a second. But 8.5 minutes, 500 gold lead for Monster Mash. First dragon is an Earth Drake. You do see the ward coverage from Nocturnal Dragons has quite a bit of vision there. You do see there are also wards in the river for Monster Mash. That more anti-gank focus, though, as you do see the continued fighting in the mid lane. As you do see, it's actually a CS lead for both mid and bot side for Monster Mash as well, and that's sort of leading to the gold advantage. So 9 minutes in, still no kills. This one a little bit slower. That may be to be expected with the lanes we see here, but Yasuo and the Nami still playing a little bit off for now as they just really try to maybe survive for a few minutes longer before they can go all in. Well, of course, as I say that, Goodspeed, he's going to go in, doesn't find anything. There's the Nami wave, though. Quetzalcoatl, he's going to come in from the back. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Not really the best timing on that one, because that's going to be the Nami ult going down.
Interesting engage choice. Definitely miscommunication. Wolfie popping the ultimate as Goodspeed was backing out, but it looks like with the pressure that they gained here, Quetzalcoatl is going to start up the Earth Drake, and that paired with Yasuo if he decides to come. They could honestly 2v1 it. So it looks like they're gonna sneak an early Earth Drake with vision control.
Funky, he's gonna go in, has the ult, doesn't get stunned. Rammus is gonna be there. This might be the first kill. There is the roll, the knockup coming down. It is gonna be first blood for the Vayne. Psycho goes no flash, not very mobile, but you do at least get a trade down for Nocturnal Dragons as they will take the Mountain Drake, seeing the jungler up on the top side. So you trade a dragon for a kill, and finally some action 10 minutes in here as this mid lane just continues to farm up.
Yeah, that's a pretty important kill there. It's the one lane that Nocturnal Dragons had a CS lead in. I wouldn't say it's the one lane that they had winning. I think Jared the Bear and Pinzor the Great are pretty even. Looks like we have good speed going in.
Yeah, it looks like we got ourselves a fight, and there comes a TP from Panzor the Great. He does have his ultimate.
Canceled.
The ultimate is going to come down on to the bot side. That is going to come down the Whippy, and now Panzor the Great, the ultimate's not going to really do a whole lot. Now he's going to be on the run. Still no kills here in this bottom lane fight. It looks like it will remain, as actually is going to be everybody alive. And you do see the Rift Herald. It's going to be started up. It looks like it's going to be Snow Too Funky and Grand Paradox taking that one. It's going to be taken low. You do have a response coming from Nocturnal Dragons. No, it's going to be taken out. Snow Too Funky, he's going to jump onto that. There is the stun. That's going to be the cleanse from Snow Too Funky to keep himself alive. And now it's going to be a split up situation. Jared the Bear, he's going to take a lot of damage from that Vayne and the max health damage. Psychos, he is actually going to pick up the kill on the Grand Paradox. So that is a 1 for nothing so far. And now Jared the Bear, he's content with that. He knows if he maybe fights that one a little bit longer, the Malphite is going to have time to respond. But do trade once again. An objective for a kill. This time you swap places though. It's the Rift Herald for Monster Mash, but the kill going over to Psycho Ghost on that Xerath.
Rift Herald is one of those neutral objectives that is a little bit harder to justify trading it for a kill. We'll see if they can find a good place to drop it before 14 minutes. We see Vayne has it. Good speed engaging.
Oh, there you go. There's the first Yasuo ultimate of the game. Gonna take the Caitlyn down low. Good speed though. He's gonna be caught on the tower. He's gonna have to flash away. He is still low. Is the ignite gonna be enough? There's a Caitlyn ultimate. It's gonna be blocked by Wolfie. Two-Mate tried to flash forward to get the kill. She's going to put some more autos down. The bubble is not going to connect. Good speed. He maybe looks to re-engage. No, it looks like after all of that, everybody is going to live. And a lot of summoners going down there, including the Ignite for Sume, the Flash for Sume, the Heal for the Whippy, the Flash for Good Speed, and Wolfie, the only one in that fight to not use a summoner. So all of that and nobody dies.
Everything but Wolfie's Flash down in the bot lane. I think Quetzalcoatl and Grand Paradox want to look there as soon as possible, try to get something happening. They could break a turret if they get a clean 2 for 1 or 2 for 0 down in the bot side. I think that's a good area to put some pressure right now, especially Panzor the Great, ultimate backup. Didn't work out in the last time he came down, but doesn't mean it won't work now.
So you do see here Snow Too Funky roaming the river. Going ahead and focusing on that Scuttle Crab, as you see Grand Paradox, he's going to roll in. I assume they're going to go ahead and give it over to the jungler. Yeah, they will. So a little bit of vision there for the river. Not going to really do a whole lot in protecting objectives, but at least you do have a little bit of gank protection over there in the river. Meanwhile, these bot lanes, they're healthy once again, just farming things up. You see it is actually around a 20 CS lead for the Whippy, but in terms of levels, the Xerath is still over the top, or actually not the Xerath, but rather the Yasuo is still over the top of that Caitlyn. Or at least were. Now, of course, they're even, but the experience advantage, how about that, is actually in the favor.
Ooh, nice Sejuani ult.
Sejuani ult is going to come down. This is going to turn into a 3v3. They're taking quite a bit of damage. The Maokai ult is going to be there, but I don't know if the Psycho Ghost is going to stay alive long enough. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, as that's going to be the kill for Jared the Bear. And now, can Quetzalcoatl and Jared the Bear get on top of this Vayne? Yes, they will. It's now 2 for 1. That's going to be the flash out from Panzor the Great, but Quetzalcoatl, he's going to find the slow. But the Q comes down for the Malphite. He's going to steal the movement speed. He's going to go ahead and walk away. 2 for 1, though. 2 for 1, though, for Nocturnal Dragons.
Yeah, great Sejuani up by Quetzalcoatl to cancel the channel and so many Rift Heralds. So that 1-for-1 objective for kill trade that happened earlier ended up being a 1 for 0 because Rift Herald never did anything for the side of Monster Mash. And then that early game Vayne damage isn't anything compared to the early game tank damage. So Quetzalcoatl and Jay the Bear, they're chased down, and their CC and their initial base damage getting to run down Snow Too Funky in the face of Panzor the Great. Coming out 2 for 1 in the top side in a 3v3 scenario.
Hey, do you see here, interesting fact to note here, despite the top lane matchup, actually, we'll talk about that in just a second. He's going to dash in, but the Rammus is going to be on the way. The taunt is going to come down onto the Yasuo. He doesn't have a flash, but the wave is there. Jared, he's going to be using that TP. Can he get into the fight? Yes, he is. He's there. He's going to go ahead and stun the Caitlyn. Sume is going to pick up the kill onto Goodspeed, so there's most of your damage, but the other AD carry is going to go down. It's actually going to be Wolfie picking up the kill. It's now 2v2, but hold on, Panzor the Great, he's coming up from the backside, does not have the ultimate, but does have the rest of his CC. Jared the Bear, is he tanking up to stay alive? Here comes Quetzalcoatl, we're back to a 3v3. Gonna lay a little bit of CC down onto the Malphite, but there's just not enough damage there without your 80 carries, and so that is where the fight will end, but another 1v1 trade as both sides claim the 80 carry.
More 1-for-1s. If we look at items, if we have a break right now, we can look at items. Still no Zeal item finish on the Yasuo. Yasuo is very weak right now. Compared to Caitlyn's Infinity Edge, just the amount of damage that'll come out from her is stronger than where Yasuo is right now. Bork finished on Vayne, nothing on Xerath right now. He's bought the stopwatch, used it in the last fight, and bought a little bit of time, which helped get the 2-for-1, but definitely not as strong as he could be right now. 132 CS for both the Malphite and the Caitlyn, so they're very healthy on gold, so they have their completed first items, and I would argue are stronger than their counterparts at the moment.
Yeah, see here, Grand Paradox, he's going to make his presence known in the bot lane, coming in very, very fast, but once again, fighting up on the top side. Psycho, he's going to have to flash with, the taunt is coming down to good speed. There you go, there's going to be a kill, and I don't think this is going to be a 1-for-1. Make that a 2-for-0, a 3-for-0, actually, as it is going to be Vayne claiming the kill onto Psycho Ghost, a 3-for-0 across the board, and now it's going to be the Monster Mash side taking a look at this Infernal Dragon.
I don't know if you've ever done the drug that is Vayne top, but when you see somebody in that log lane, you just get to run them down. It's very good seeing somebody no mobility and push up all the way to your turret. She had flash and cleanse and ultimate, got to run them down. That instant cleanse, very, very clean, very flashy. Ends up getting the 1-for-0. Turret to half HP, some experience, some lane creeps, and then on the bottom side of the map, honestly I didn't see the fight, so I can't really comment on that, but it worked out well for them, and they get an Infernal Drake, which...
Ooh, we might have a dive coming up next. Here comes the Malphite ult. Yasuo is going to be dead on arrival, as that's just bullying the poor guy, of course.
Disappeared.
Good speed, you have one good game on Kaisa, you break out the Yasuo 80 carry, well, maybe you should stick to the 80 carries. 0-3 here at 17.5 minutes, as Monster Mash just able to take advantage of the fact that Yasuo just doesn't really get ahead unless you win that early game early.
Yeah, Yasuo's definitely pretty far behind now. Only now completed Shiv, has boots and Shiv. Until he finishes either the Crit Cloak or the F-Sword, not really a champion yet. But if he's left alone in bot lane and just gets to farm up and sit, he definitely can come back in the game. You never want to doubt a 2 to 3 item Yasuo's damage. If we look at ward coverage, there's quite a lot of leftover wards towards the bottom side.
Another 2v2 coming up. Yeah, same as Psycho goes condemned against the wall. Can he put a little bit of damage down? Yeah, but he's going to die. Too Snow, too Funky for it. Looks like Ketsukola, he just got to try to put as much damage down as he can. No, the Aftershock's not going to be enough. A double kill for the Vayne Monster Mash. 9 kills to 4, a 4K gold lead. They do not want their season to end here.
Well played by Snow Too Funky to maximize the amount of time that he's invisible.
Oh, hold on here. There you go. Okay.
It's the AP Malphite experience, yeah.
I thought I was safe to take a drink of water. No, AP Malphite, no, just doing AP Malphite things. He's going to go ahead and delete the Yasuo. Now 0-4 for good speed. Was such an impact player in game number 1. Now a little bit, obviously a little bit behind here in game number 2. And yeah, things just not going well for Nocturnal Dragons. They looked real good, but this time, you know, maybe just the solo queue perspective. Monster Mash's comp, we talk about it. It's a little bit of a solo queue comp, but boy, oh boy, is it working here in this.
I mean, yeah, it's the skills check kind of to strategy. You know, are you better than me? If yes, you're good. If no, we win. That's what their team comp kind of says, and it's working out well for them now. Their last couple plays have just been them winning straight up. You know, 3v3s, 2v2s, 1v1s. And coming out ahead for it, so the Infernal Drake is definitely going to outweigh the Earth Drake, especially right now. And if they take their 2 strongest members, and the Vayne is definitely hatching up at 1.5 items, going to hit that 2 item mark very soon, and just take them and bring them to fights. They're just stronger than their counterparts, so they keep the pedal to the metal, be able to come out ahead on this win.
Yeah, so now past the surrender mark here at 20 minutes. 10 kills to 4 for MOMvsNDR. I wasn't implying that they should FF. I was just saying it's the surrender mark. Although Goodspeed, it looks like he's going to be going down in just a moment. The flash down from both the Yasuo and the Malphite. But that AP Malphite just doing so much. Of course, when you're ahead, I was talking about the burst not being enough sometimes. But when you're ahead, the burst is always going to be enough.
Especially with how far behind Yasuo is.
Yeah, Yasuo just now completing his static shift. Does not have his Cole completed just yet, as you can see. Haven't seen Cole in quite some time. But either way, yeah, he still has 16 CS on it, but just so far behind when compared to the rest of Monster Mash. Even gold-wise, you have only 5.6k. Meanwhile, the Whippy on the Caitlyn, you have 7.6k. I mean, I haven't been the biggest purveyor of Yasuo AD carry. We've seen it more times than I think we should have this year. It's just not worked out a whole lot. You do see a little bit of damage coming down onto Grand Paradox, but that's a big tanky boy. Grand Paradox a little bit tankier this time than he was in game number 1, and so he'll be able to walk out with maybe only 20-30% damage taken.
So where Malphite's at, he's got 30% MPen. Ooh.
Yeah, looks like we got ourselves our mid lane fight. There is the Nami wave coming down. The Yasuo ultimate is going to get him into the back line. They do take down Sume. He is going to go down to Quetzalcoatl. Will the Rammus survive? Not for much longer. It's a double kill for Quetzalcoatl. And that's a 2-for-0 for the side of Nocturnal Dragons. Not so fast, my friend. We might have ourselves a bit of a game, especially if you can find good end gauges like that from the Nami wave.
Yeah. Well played. Getting them to see their opportunity and go for it. Don't think that they're gonna get the Infernal Drake out of it though, which is pretty rough for them. They got 2 kills on the turret, but an Infernal Drake going down on the side of Monster Mash, especially when they have 3 very damage dependent carries. They want to stack as much as possible. So now they're 17% stronger. Even if they have the same amount of gold and items, they're just 17% stronger than their counterparts. So I think it'll matter a lot who has these Infernal Drakes. Especially, the next one is an Air Drake, so they're not going to have the 3rd Infernals yet. But to finish the point I was talking about earlier, 30% MPen on the Malphite. Yasuo has 41 MR. Nami has a little bit more. But the 2 carries, 35 MR and 41 MR on the sides of Yasuo and Xerath. He's dealing nearly true damage to them with every ability.
Grand Paradox, he's on the prowl. There's this taunt coming down onto the Nami, the AP Malphite. Yeah, Nami not going to be tanky enough to survive that, so that's going to be a catch-out kill for the side of Monster Mash. They're going to turn their efforts to this mid lane tower. You see the Xerath ultimate, it's going to come down. He's just going to focus a little bit on the minions, actually. Just going to hit a different target each time. There's the mid lane turret going down, and now this thing going to be on the prowl. The Sejuani ultimate is going to find the Rammus. The follow-up CC also coming down onto Grand Paradox, but not enough to go back in on. They're just going to go ahead and walk away. But yeah, the Vayne top is going to continue getting stronger. The Malphite still relatively strong. Eventually it falls off, but
I don't know if it falls off against Xerath though. I don't think Xerath can build enough defensive items aside from Zonyaing the full burst to survive.
Fair play, fair play. I mean, that's why you're the color commentator, but your way. 4K.
I mean, that's the Malphite. That's why you pick Malphite, right? You turn the situation to a 4v4. You pick their strongest member, delete them, and then you die for it. But
Yeah, sure. But either way, 24 minutes. I gotta get focused. 24 minutes, 4K gold lead. My coworkers are texting me right now, talking about something completely different. So either way, 24 minutes, 4K gold lead. You do see your individual gold. It is actually the Vayne 1.5k up over the Xerath. You have the Grand Paradox. He actually has a 300 gold lead onto Quetzalcoatl. 700 gold for Malphite over Jareth Bear. The Caitlyn, that's your biggest difference right now. So you actually do have 1.4k between Caitlyn and the Yasuo. And then in the support position, they are actually pretty much dead even. So I know support gold differential, not really the most important thing, but Sume and Wolfie going blow for blow right now. Of course, Wolfie, really the biggest reason you win that last skirmish, but then of course you got caught out. So kind of, it's a wash, but at least you still get 2 kills on it.
But I mean, I know you said support gold isn't the most important thing, but if we look at items, it's an Athene's to a Ardent Sensor. So I think Ardent Sensor is significantly more impactful on the 2 ADC team than an Athene's is on the side of Nocturnal Dragons, since you know they have Xerath for poke, but their poke comp is not like their mainstay right now. It's not what they're doing. So we have an engage by Grand Paradox.
Yeah, there's the ultimate coming down from the Malphite. That's going to be Psycho goes down. Quetzalcoatl, he's not going to be long for this world. He's going to go down. Another 2 for nothing for Monster Mash. And with the jungler and the top laner dead, that's going to be the Baron startup here at 25 minutes. And this one going to go relatively quickly with the Vayne, with the Caitlyn, and with the Rammus tanking things up front.
It's I say it quite often, but it's the Baron vision. Post 20-minute Baron vision is what they set up. Before they backed, they set it up, they reset, and they came back out, and Quetzalcoatl was trying to play the Baron vision game, mostly alone. You know, Psycho Ghost was following him, but that was it. They didn't have much follow-up aside from that, and then Panzora just saw a squishy champion, clicked all of his fun buttons, and took him out of the game.
His fun buttons, sure.
Yeah.
whatever we want to call it here, but
it's his skill button, dude. You click R and you outplay your opponents.
Yeah, for sure. But either way, 4-0-3. You know what? The skill button's working for Monster Mash here in this one. 4-0-3. Panzora the Great, a little bit more impactful, dare I say, than even Game 1, where he was pretty much the lone shining star for Monster Mash. But yeah, the Malphite's certainly doing work right now. Vayne, of course, still 4-1-1. She's still scaling, taking jungle camps now away from the jungler because, screw the jungler, am I right? And
hell yeah.
Panzora the Great taking the blue buff away from his jungler as well. So Grand Paradox, he does have his Righteous Glory. He does have his Moby Boots. He has the speed items. Yeah, he's pretty much got everything he needs. So, yeah, you can start donating some things to your laners here, as this one is starting to get a little bit out of control as Monster Mash continues to flex their Baron empowered minions in the mid lane.
Well, now they're going to see what they can do with their Baron buff. If you look at where they are in the lanes, all the outer turrets are down, but they don't have any waves pushed up. They waited 30 whole seconds around this air drake, and now they're going to take it. And what else? I can't see how long Baron lasts on them. Dang.
Can you not just click one?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't show.
Oh, it really doesn't. But either way,
yeah.
That's an
air drake. They're wasting time on their Baron right now. Is the main point.
Yeah.
And they're not really doing much with it, right? You get the Baron, it's basically a 300 gold for everybody. They get the air drake because they don't want to fight. But what else? It's a very impactful neutral objective that they're not going to do anything with.
Yeah, though, air drake not the worst dragon though for Monster Mashes. That will speed up their primary engage in the Rammus here. Do you see Grand Paradox looking for the flank from the side? They're just going to focus on clearing some vision. But look where the Malphite is standing. That is going to be a little bit maybe of a threat there. No, it looks like Eternal Dragons, they're just going to go ahead and back off. Malphite, he's going to show himself once again in front of that tower to make sure that cannon keeps the Baron buff and allows it to keep pushing, although it is going to eventually go down to the latest wave of minions coming through.
Yeah, I'm not really liking what they're doing. Caitlyn versus Xerath is kind of just a siege wash, right? Especially because the melee champions on the side of Nocturnal Dragons get to walk up to the wave. They don't have the pressure that they need. So they sent down Snow Too Funky to the bot lane to get that wave pushing in. And looks like they're just going to split them up, get Snow Too Funky free money, free turret, and a bunch of wave down bot. Yeah. Slow response from Nocturnal Dragons. Looks like they thought about it and turned away. Oh no.
Yeah, and while they're fighting in the mid lane, as the Whippy actually going to be taken very, very low. The heal is going to keep him alive though. Here comes the Malphite. He's going to go ahead and take out the Yasuo. The bubble will find too, but it's going to be Nocturnal Dragons on the run. Vayne did find a tower on the bottom side of the fight. The Caitlyn ult is not going to be enough to kill Jared the Bear. The Tornado finds 3 down the lane, but that looks like that's where the fight's going to stop. Sume going to go ahead and use the ult to heal her team to full, but it is a 1-for-0 on the side of Monster Mash. He put the damage down onto Whippy, but the clutch heal, basically the last possible moment, keeps him alive. And now Psycho goes, he's going to be engaged upon. The taunt is there. He is going to use the barrier, but that will not be enough. Panzora the Great, 6-0-3. He is dominating. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and start working on these inhibitor towers, as you only have 3 members of the squad to work with for Nocturnal Dragons. Of course, the Whippy just doing massive amounts of work and just pushing waves in and putting some damage down onto these towers. As you see, Nocturnal Dragons, all they can do is really just focus on clearing out those Caitlyn traps and getting ready for the next fight.
Yeah, I really thought that Wolfie got caught out right there, but it turns out Quetzalcoatl and Jerry the Bear were going in, so it was a kind of a coordinated assault, and then well played by Whippy to get out when he did. Carried out by Sume and Zora the Great on the re-engage. Basically just, you know, taking out good speed from the fight, turn it into a 4v4. And they come out with a turret, half the turret on the inhibitor. Yeah, just about half. And then Baron coming up in another minute, so they should go over. Control wards in the pockets of everybody but Penzo the Great, so 2 and Snow Too Funky's a Great Paradox. So they're going to go establish vision control and wait it out. When Baron spawns, they take it, and hopefully they do a little bit more with it than they did in the last time, but they get to push out the mid and the top wave and take Baron as soon as it spawns.
So we are past the 30-minute mark in this one. Remember, the first game went 34 minutes. And that did end in a Nocturnal Dragons victory. We are looking at a 1-0 series lead for the Dragons, but it looks, if things continue the way they are going now, it looks like we may have ourselves a Game 3 situation coming up to see who takes on mediocre at best next week. Of course, tomorrow we will have our second quarterfinal matchup, but with both mediocre at best and SPK Reapers earning buys, one of these two teams will play the second-seeded mediocre at best squad next week. So, will be interesting.
Yep. I think Monster Mesh just has to keep their head cool. They have a 3.5 item ADC. Caitlyn's on a Zeal and a half, an Infinity Edge, and bought the Mortal Reminder. Lower the lifesteal of Yasuo and helps deal with the dedicated tanks in Quetzalcoatl and Jerry the Bear. Looks like they're turning towards the Baron. Rammus, Vayne could 2v, just 2-man it themselves, but vision control, not even going to get a response from Nocturnal Dragons. They can't even walk out that far from their base. So easy take of the Baron from Monster Mash. See if they want to spend 20 seconds to go get that Air Drake, or if they want to go straight towards the mid, top, or bot lanes, try to break an inhibitor, break the base.
So, of course, things just continuing to kind of slide out of the hands of Nocturnal Dragons. I also want to correct myself real quick. I kind of realized it a little bit later, because this is how Season 1 worked. It's not a traditional bracket. It's not like March Madness. It's not like any other tournament. The lowest seed will actually take on SPK Reapers. So, I do want to talk about that real quick, because if Nocturnal Dragons does win this series, they will most likely be taking on SPK Reapers unless Lionheart Esports wins tomorrow. But if Monster Mash wins here tonight, then once again they will likely be taking on SPK Reapers unless Lionheart Esports wins tomorrow. So quite frankly, and the bracket kind of confused me on that one because, yeah, for reasons. But hold on, we'll talk about that in a second. Snow Too Funky, easy to be caught out. There's the shutdown. That's 450 gold, extra gold into the pocket of Quetzalcoatl. Maybe not the one you want to get that shutdown gold, but hey, anything helps as Snow Too Funky just a little bit too deep on that one. He's going to have to stay dead for 40 seconds. But there is a push going on the bottom side as well, and that's actually going to be the first inhibitor tower going down as Malphite and Rammus continue to push down bottom.
Yeah, that might slow. They went for a 1-3-1-2-2. Interesting choice, but that might slow the push in from Monster Mash.
Probably going down on the Rammus.
Yep, I don't expect a lot to happen now with Baron.
Oh, there's the Malphite. Oh, it's going to find 3. That's a lot of damage, but can the rest of Monster Mash get into a spot to take advantage of it? Malphite, he is going to go down. It is going to be Grand Paradox over the wall. It's currently a 2-for-1 in a 4v5 fight. There's the Caitlyn ultimate. Wolfie going to be taken very, very low. The clutch heal, though, to keep her alive. As Grand Paradox, he's just going to keep rolling in. Just look at him doing work on the front side. Psycho Ghost, he's going to go down in essentially a 1v1. The Janus Shield doing a little bit of work there. That's to be true. But yeah, just not enough damage on your Xerath, on your Yasuo, and they're now going to be starting up the Nexus turrets. They want to end this game. Sangos, he is going to get the armor reduction onto Grand Paradox. There is the Janna ultimate, though. That's going to keep him alive. One Nexus turret is going to go down. Looks like, are they going to look for anything more? Well, they do have their Vayne pushing in the inhibitor tower. They're going to go ahead and get that inhibitor as well.
Yeah, I think they're just going to get the inhibs and leave here.
Yeah, you get one Nexus turret, you get an extra inhibitor, and they say, you know what? That's good enough for now. We're just going to back off. We're going to look for the re-engage. We've been winning team fights. Let's take it slow and maybe look for another coordinated effort to end this game with the super minions.
Quite the caster curse there. I said I don't expect a lot to happen after the Baron. I expect them to just back off with their one inhibitor turret, and then Penzor the Great went for the flash ultimate over 2 walls for I'd say a good engage. He didn't kill the Yasuo. Yasuo's building defensively to survive, but started off a winning team fight, so we'll give it to him. And now a lot more money in the pockets of the carries on Monster Mash's side. 2 lanes pushing in with inhibitor minions. A little bit harder to deal on the side of Nocturnal Dragons outside of the Yasuo. And then they have 1 easy lane to just kind of walk down. That's where all their trust in.
Good speed. He's going to be caught out maybe in his own jungle. Penzor the Great, he's going to put the TP in. He's going to ult over the wall. Good speed going to go down. Wolfie's going to be there, though. This does turn into essentially a 2v3, but there is the rest of Monster Mash. They're going to come in. The Sejuani ult is going to find Snow Too Funky. The bubble doesn't find anybody. Looks like Jared Bear, he's going to go down next unless they can keep him alive. No, they can't. Snow Too Funky. His 5th kill. Make that another kill for Whippy. That's his 6th. That's a 3-0, and this might be the push to end the game. Psycho Ghost, I don't think he has the damage, but Caitlyn does. 2 auto attacks, all you need there. Grand Paradox, he's going to land the taunt on the Sejuani. They want to kill everyone, kill every last one of them, and in 36.5 minutes, we are going to a Game 3 Monster Mash in Nocturnal Dragons.
Double ADC for Caitlyn. That's not to downplay what Malphite did. Obviously his damage is going to fall as the game plays on. Yasuo bought just the Maw, and the Quicksilver Sash had enough MR and HP to just kind of survive. But well played by honestly both sides. I think Nocturnal Dragons backfoot the entire game, but I don't think they walked into too many dumb things that they didn't need to.
Yeah, so certainly as you take a look at the damage charts here, as we start thinking about game number 3, excuse me, we'll go ahead and just give out our MVP. Who do you think?
For the side of Monster Mash, probably Panzora. He was the playmaker for a lot of these fights, right? Like I said, damage falls off, but I think they wouldn't have gotten a lot of the wins that they got if he wasn't there with his ultimate, since it's such a playmaking tool. So I'd give it to Panzora.
Well, you know what? I disagree. I'm going to give mine.
Snow Too Funky?
No.
Whippy.
Snow Too Funky didn't do anything in the mid to late game there. I was actually going to comment on it before he started doing something and actually kind of controlled the end game. When you look at kill participation, who has the most?
Is it Grand Paradox?
Yes, 100%. I give it to Grand Paradox. I mean, the ults from Panzor the Great were great, so to speak. But, it was almost the Rammus starting things, finding somebody, and then Panzor the Great following up for the extra damage. So I want to give mine to Grand Paradox, personally.
That's fair.
Usually I don't give MVP votes. I do it on and off, but I just feel like I want to say that I think you're wrong, and let's move on. But either way, 1-1 the series is, and we are going to head into a game number 3, an exciting series between these two teams. Who will have the energy? Who will have the strategy to find themselves in a quarterfinal matchup with either SPK Reapers or mediocre at best? Back in a flash, you are watching the quarterfinals of the Commonwealth League.